So I think in the last time you used words that as a classroom teacher, I know I should pay attention to, but I don't usually, it's not like my main focus. And those words are like reliability, validity, that sort of thing. So we know that your work, you tend to focus on reliability, validity, and norming. Can you explain what each of these terms mean and how do you consider them when you're building an assessment?
Sure. Okay. So first of all, let me change my title from psychometrician to assessment specialist. That maybe is a more user-friendly way to think about people that do the kind of service that we do. We're specialists in assessment, gathering information. So in terms of gathering information, there would be two things that we would really prioritize. The first one, and these are going to be very different. Sometimes people say reliability and validity together as if it's one thing, but reliability and validity are very, very different concepts. So I'll try and distinguish them pretty crisply. Reliability has to do with the dependability of the information. If I was trying to measure something, if I was trying to understand a student's level of mastery of the fifth grade math curriculum, I'd want to come to a conclusion that I could depend on. That's a reliable conclusion. It's a little bit like if I was to get up in the morning and step on a scale, in my bathroom to check my weight or something. If it said 210 today, okay, that'd be great. And if I said, well, let me just check it one more time, and I stepped back on and it said 37, I'd be, well, wait a minute. Something's wrong here. This is not giving me dependable information. Now, if I got on it and it said 210 and I got off and got it back on and it said 211 or something, I would like, okay, well, that's pretty close. That's dependable enough. But if it was giving me wildly different information, it's kind of worthless. If it said 210 and then 37 and then 355 or something, I'd be like, what the heck is this scale is garbage. I'm gonna throw it out. And that's the exact same thing we would do in educational assessment. If something is giving us information we can't count on, imagine if you gave an EOG or an EOC to a kid one day and it said they were a level 5. The next day you gave it to them and said they were a level 1. That's ridiculous. That scale, right, is terrible. Throw it away. Shouldn't be used. So we consider reliability, this notion of how consistent or dependable the information is, to be like a first main non-negotiable. If we're not getting reliable information, we're not going to the next step. Now, reliable information then in an education setting, I think could be boiled down to this. If I was to give this test to the same student under the same conditions again, like I gave it to them once, they came back the next day and I gave it to them again. If it said they were a level 4 the first day, it darn well better say they're a level 4 the next day. Assuming from day 1 to day 2, you don't look up all the answers or learn remarkably or something, or forget everything. Assuming that the student is about the same the first day as the second day, no more level of fatigue, no more level of anything. If we could test them the second day with Will Smith's Men in Black, erase their memory of the first day, then they should get the same score. They should get not just the same category, level 4, but they should get about the same scaled score from the first one to the second one. And psychometricians, assessment specialists, really work hard to make sure that's the case, that we have reliable information. Now, so reliable means consistent or dependable. You can count on it. Let's go back to that bathroom scale. And if I got up in the morning and jumped on and it said 37, I said, wait a minute. And I got back on again and it said 37. I said, come on, one more time. I got on 37. That would be highly dependable information, but I got to tell you, it would be wrong. Okay. So dependable is good, but it ain't enough, right? We want something that's consistent, but we want it to be consistently right, so to speak. I could design a system of measuring English language arts that would consistently underestimate the English comprehension of non-native speakers. You could purposefully design. No one would, but you could have systems in place that sort of consistently were wrong. And a classic example of that is reading level on mathematics examinations. We're trying to measure someone's ability to do mathematics. And if you have very complicated, linguistically structured word problems, you might not be getting a good measurement of someone's mathematical problem solving. That measurement might be tainted because there's a high language load that's irrelevant to the measurement of mathematics. And that student might get a very dependable score. Each time they take it, the language is confusing to them, or the linguistic constructions are unfamiliar or something. So they're not able to show their true level of mathematical ability. That would be like getting on a scale every day for me and it said 37. I'd get the wrong result every day. It wouldn't be my true weight, but it would be very dependable. So for the second step in the process, what we're trying to do is not just get information we can count on, the reliability part of it, but we want to make sure that assessment is really measuring that student's mathematics knowledge or skill and not their reading. We want to make sure it's really measuring their reading and not their culture. We want to make sure it's really measuring their US history, not their gender. I mean, it's just like we want to make sure it's consistently measuring, the right thing. So it's giving us reliable information, that's dependable information. And then the second part is the score on that means what we think it means or what we intend. The easiest definition of validity is that validity means the score on the assessment means what it's intended to mean. So if it's intended to mean my level of mathematical knowledge, it means that. It doesn't mean my level of English language proficiency. It doesn't mean my reading comprehension skill. It doesn't mean my dialect, my region, anything like that. It means that I have this level of math proficiency. So those two characteristics, one, that the process we've designed is dependable. It would give us the same result if we did it again. And two, that the resulting score means what we think it means or what it's intended to mean is the validity part of it.